Okay, hello everyone and welcome back to Injustice 2. Today I'm just going to kind of discuss a topic and kind of ramble about something while working on my Black Adam here in the lab because I want to kind of play Black Adam. I know he's kind of a bitch character, but I think he's really fun. Very underrated now, he still does a ton of damage. I don't know why everyone dropped him as soon as the patch came out. But this topic kind of was raised, I think, in either MKX's or Injustice 2's subreddit. I don't remember where. And the question was, if there's gonna be, well, there's definitely gonna be an MK11 or an Injustice 3, would it be better for the variation system to return or to keep the gear system? And it made me kind of think because there is like no real right or wrong answer. There might just be a completely new system, to be honest. But it is certainly an interesting topic, and I'm just gonna kind of talk about it. I definitely have my opinion. If you didn't know, for the kind of uninitiated, Mortal Kombat had a variation system. Basically, you had a character, and they had three variations which basically almost like gained different gear abilities from Injustice. Each character had like a few unique strings or a few unique super moves which made them a little bit different, and again you basically had three to choose from for every character. Now, of course, Injustice kinda has this in terms of it having um, it having a system where you can choose your gear abilities. However, I think in a way NRS did kind of screw up the gear system, or especially the gear abilities, in that they made them incredibly overpowered. I mean, some of these gear abilities are just like absolutely ridiculous. Some of the gear bonuses, especially people who somehow have the time and the patience to grind out the legendary multiverse, I mean, some of those bonuses are insane. I saw one, you get one for Atrocitus, where Dexter is out for the whole match. And these might be fun, for people who enjoy the single player content of the game. However, with multiplayer, that's basically incompatible. I mean, there is a reason that they added competitive player matches, because I'm pretty sure most people did not enjoy old player matches. There might still be some who did, but and most people I saw online certainly didn't. And this is kind of a thing with Injustice that I noticed, that this game seems to kind of have a confused identity. Like, on one hand, it wants to be a fighting game that's supposed to be taken seriously and played at a tournament level. On the other hand, this game just wants to go full Destiny, in that you have a ton of gear just keeps dropping and dropping. I mean, my inventory is full for like half the characters. Some of the characters I don't even care about. Like, my inventory is full for Green Lantern. Like, I don't give a fuck about Green Lantern, to be honest. I don't play that character. Whereas a character that I actually want to play, like Aquaman, I barely have any gear for. So I feel like the game's identity is kind of confused, and that's why the whole debacle with kind of competitive player matches and regular player matches, I feel like, came from. Again, stemming from that confused identity. Do you want to be a game where how you perform online is determined by your gear and how much you grind and all that, or your skill as a fighting game player? And NRS seems to have compromised. Certainly, for a fighting game, the variation system is better because it still offers you some type of tactical depth. Because at this point, obviously gear and any gear abilities are banned. Because if you have variations, you kind of force the developer to make all of those variations tournament viable. Whereas with the gear, they were just like, fuck it. No one's gonna use gear, they're gonna be banned anyways, so let's just make them horribly overpowered. So certainly if you want, interestingly enough, variation or variety, the variation system would be better. However, I do definitely see how, for casual audience and also for sure people who play single player, I know there's a ton of people who don't even play this game online. the multiverse and the legendary multiverse and grinding for gear and all that is definitely the better option. I mean, I'm not like a stats guy. I never enjoyed these like really loot heavy games, even like um well, for example, Destiny I've never played, and I have no interest in playing, not just because the game is shit, but also because I have no interest in these types of games. Even like I'm not even a huge fan of Diablo and those types of games. You know, the ones that just go exclusively for loot. So for me personally, the loot system itself doesn't really offer that much. But again, I can definitely see how some people really like this. But again, for as a fighting game, the variation system definitely offers more in the long run. Because again, you are basically still stuck with the vanilla characters. And also, gotta mention costumes versus gear. I mean, I like the gear in this game. I think it's a good idea, mixing and matching all the shaders and everything. However, you gotta admit that even though there's a ton of gear and they all have like stupid names and whatever, you basically get about 7 to 8 pieces per character. Like Captain Cold, I have like a shit ton of helmets with Captain Cold. They, again, fall into 6 or 7 categories. They all look the same, even though they just have different stats. So customization really isn't that free in this game, like as you would think. Personally, I much prefer something like oh, is that meterless? Can you combo meterlessly from that? That's really interesting. I didn't actually know. I honestly, personally, would much rather have what's it called? Premier skins. You know, like your Jay Garrick and your Mr. Freeze and all that. To me, that's a lot more interesting than having a ton more gear. And even like shaders, they go way overboard with the shaders. Like even now, there was a patch just today before I started playing this, and they just added a bunch of new shaders. And you know, you can definitely tell that the kind of grind mentality seeps into everything because source crystals are basically impossible to get by. I've been playing this game since day one, and so far I've managed to afford one shader and one premier skin. That's it. Like, source crystals are incredibly hard to come by, even more so I would say than like fight money in Street Fighter 5. It's just, they're pretty much taunting you. It's like, you gotta buy our shit. So again, I feel like in terms of online play and all that, having actual just like costumes like MKX did is a much better option. Of course, if you do have that option, you gotta actually add them because I feel like they got really lazy with MKXL towards the end. Like, I remember not Sub-Zero, Scorpion had like 10 different skins, whereas the DLC characters had none. What I would really like to see is maybe like a combined system, is for there to be character costumes. Like, you know, you would have your, and I understand that this is more difficult to do in the DC games, but you know, you could have like a Damian Wayne Robin, a Nightwing Robin, and I don't know who else Robin, but you could also maybe kind of customize their colors or something. I think that would be the better compromise. So again, what I just wanted to bring out, God, I've been talking for 9 straight minutes or almost 10. What I've been trying to get out of this is that, again, moving forward, whether it's MK11 or Injustice 3, like, I feel like NRS is gonna have to make a decision on who they're gonna cater to more. You know, are they going to cater more, God, that still does that much damage. Are they gonna cater more to the casual audience who wants to grind and customize characters and all that? Or the competitive, because this game tries to cater to both, and I can definitely see that in some ways it is kind of a confused game. Even like the new legendary multiverse that they added, I see so many people split on it. Personally, I have no interest in it. Like, that much grind is just no fucking way, but I know some people who love it. So it's kind of an interesting thing because this type of thing really isn't present in any other fighting game like Street Fighter and all that. It's kind of a weird thing. I think it's just because, you know, this is a DC game in the end. You know, these characters are popular, so the game does have a large casual audience. And I'm really not saying this as any type of like fighting game, like elitist. That's not what I'm getting at all. It's just I honestly prefer the variation system. But you know, that's just my opinion. Not harping on the game or anything. It's just I feel like if they're gonna add abilities, they gotta make them a little bit more balanced, because it would be so much more fun to have it that way. Anyways, I'm gonna stop rambling. This was really just, I don't know, I just wanted to talk about this because I was thinking about it. And also I got to practice on Black Adam. So thank you guys very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to like it and subscribe if you haven't. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.